We are going to start our first practice session, which is related with the first chapter, business organization. This course is covering all the Kaplan exam kit MCQs and as well as multitask questions. Along with these MCQs and multitask questions, there are mocks as well. So objective of this course is to discuss why which one of the option is correct and why rest of the three options are incorrect. Which of the following is not a key feature of an organization? An organization is established to control performance. Control performance means performance measurement. We will measure our performance, what was expected to achieve at the start of the accounting period, and what we actually achieved. So, difference between target and actual is called what? Variance. Organization is the one which has collective goals. It means what ultimately want an organization wants to achieve. It is also called the mission statement. For profit-seeking organizations, mission statement is to maximize profit, and for not-for-profit seeking organizations, mission statement is to provide services. So it also falls under the definition of the organization. Social arrangements are the one where different amount people from the different backgrounds are working together. They have relationship with each other. So this is called what? A place where people have social interaction with each other. Which of the following is not a key feature of an organization? Creation of a product or service is not a key feature of an organization. Next one is, are the following statements true or false? Private companies can raise share capital by advertising to the general public. This is not true. Private companies cannot raise because private companies are the one which are owned by the families or friends. Public companies are able to raise funds from the stock market, uh, from general public through advertisement. Private companies can raise share capital from the venture capitalists. Well, exactly, they can. Venture capitalists are the one who became partner in the equity of the company, and they have a certain exit time. They will exit from the company and they will take their equity proportion. Venture capitalists are the one who do not take any kind of interest from the company. They have their representation in the board members, and their objective is to become partner in the startup businesses if their idea is uh, acceptable, and they will take exit by selling their share to their existing partner, or they will sell their share in the stock market after a certain number of years, which are decided by both the parties with each other. So venture capitalists are the one who are providing share finance to the private companies, and especially they are providing finance to the startups. Public sector is normally concerned with which of the following activities? Whenever we say public sector means government organizations. Government organizations are not established to earn profit. Their objective is to serve the public of the country by using the taxpayers' funds. Making profit from the sale of goods, it is not the public sector characteristic, it is the characteristic of a private sector organization. Providing services to a specific group funded from charitable donations, it is the characteristic of not-for-profit seeking organizations. Provision of basic government service, this is true. Raise funds by subscription from members to provide common services. Such type of organizations are called like cooperative organizations, or we can say that like organizations like ACCA, where students, affiliate members are paying subscription at the start of each year, and ACCA is providing services as a result. Next one is a company which specializes in the forestry. It has recently purchased B Company, which runs a chain of recreational resorts. A has allowed B to build several new resorts on land which is owned by A, but which it is no longer be able to use. The resort have proven highly profitable and popular. Which of the following best explains the reasons for improved performance of the combined entity? Basically, the important thing is last these two words. Do companies are combined. Whenever two companies are combined with each other, it is usually called either mergers or it is called acquisition. So if it is mergers or acquisition, what we can say that mergers or acquisitions are the one where we are going to merge similar size companies, or acquisition is the one where large companies going to acquire another company. A purpose of merger or acquisition is to achieve synergy benefit. Synergy means what? When two companies will work together or two companies in the same business will work together, then 2 plus 2 will be 5. Why? When two companies of the same industry are working together, now they will be able to maximize their revenue with greater proportion. They will be able to save costs when they are combined, which will ultimately result in increase in profitability. So this is called what? This is called synergy. Synergy are of different types. We have a revenue synergy, we have cost synergy, we have financial synergy, and definitely both the companies will keep best human resource or retain by best human resource, and rest of the HR will be redundant. Purpose is not the specialization, not the social interactivity, and neither the service. Which of the following statements regarding limited companies is correct? Limited companies or limited liability means when companies are unable to settle their loans on time, definitely it will not hurt the personal property of the owners or shareholders. Public limited companies have access to a wider pool of finance. Wider pool of finance means what? They can access the stock exchange, they can access banks to borrow loan, they can access leasing companies to finance assets, or they can access loan notes or bonds which are issued to public. So it is undoubtedly easy for the public limited companies to raise funds in comparison with the partnerships or the sole traders. Both public and private limited companies are allowed to sell shares to the public. This is not true. Only the public limited companies are allowed to sell their shares to the public. Companies are always owned by many different investors. Companies are always owned by many different investors. It could be true in case of public companies or public limited companies, but here word of public limited is missing. That's why it is also incorrect, because private companies are always owned by family or friends. Shareholders are liable for any debt to the company may incur. Shareholders are not liable for the any debt that a company may incur. Basically, company itself is liable for any debt by that the company may incur. So this one is the right answer. Consider the following list of different organizations. First, read the requirement. Which of these organizations would normally be classified as both a not-for-profit organizations and a private sector organizations? Government departments are the one which are neither uh, not-for-profit organizations because they are public sector. Although their aim is not to maximize profit, but they are not funded by donations. And definitely these are not private organizations, these are public sector organizations. Partnerships are the one which falls under the private sector organizations, and they are not for profit seeking, they are established for to earn profit. Charities are the one which are established with the intention to not to make profit but to serve the community, and they are the one which are private sector organizations because they are using resources from the donations, or they offer different types of concerts, or they arrange different types of events which help them to generate revenue, and they will use this profit from those events to provide welfare to the society. Companies are purely private sector organizations, and they are established with the intention to maximize profit, and their liability is always limited towards the long-term liabilities. So B is the right answer. An organization is owned and democratically controlled by its members. To which type of organization does this definition relates to? So it is the one which is like cooperative organizations where all the members basically working as what as like active members or partners, or what we can say that no one is boss and no one is subordinate. There is no hierarchy and in cooperative organizations, and they are established basically with the intention to perform a certain activity. They do not fall under the definition of charities because it is not controlled by member. Charity is the one which is managed by the management and funded by the donors. Non-governmental organizations are not for profit seeking organizations. Similarly, public organizations which are listed in the stock market, public limited companies, and private limited companies are the one which are owned by the family. So that's why controlled, democratically controlled by its member is the cooperative organization. Westeros is an organization which import computers into a country A and sell them to the public in order to make a profit. It is owned by 15 individual investors, each of whom own an equal number of shares in the Westeros. Westor is not a public limited company. Which of the following is likely to be most appropriate source of finance for Westeros? Central government is funding, existing owner of the Westeros is funding, issue of shares to the public, and donation from the public. So here he is saying that Westeros is an organization which import computer into country A and sell them to public in order to make profit. So it's a profit seeking organization. It is owned by 15 individuals investors, each of whom own equal number of shares in Westeros. Westeros is not a public limited company. Which of the following is likely to be most important use of finance for the Westeros? First one, central government funding. No. The existing owner of stores, they are basically the one who are enjoying profit. So it is their responsibility to provide finance to Westeros. Are the following statements true or false? Not-for-profit organizations have varied objectives which depend on the need of their managers or the section of society they are created to benefit. So this statement is the true statement. Primary objective of government fund organization is to reduce cost of their operations and minimize the tax burden. This is not basically the primary objective of the organization. They generate a tax, and then they decide some amount which they can incur on the different tasks of the society. Which of the following statements is true? Limited company status means that a company is only allowed to trade up to a predetermined turnover level in any 1 year. Number two, for organizations that have limited liability status, ownership and control are legally separate. It means that shareholders are separate from the organization. So this statement will be considered as the correct statement. This was our first chapter of business and technology.